You're watching Inside Durango TV Sports with Jordan Alexander, your source for information about sporting events in Southwest Colorado.
This week on Inside Durango Sports, the Colorado Rapids, a Major League Soccer franchise, shows interest in Durango's finest. Fort Lewis basketball had a tough weekend against Colorado State University-Pueblo and University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. Fort Lewis softball returns from the West Texas A&M Woodward Invitational Tournament, and Hillcrest Golf Course waves an early goodbye to winter and opens for business. Durango is a soccer community, and our small mountain town churns out some top-notch players. Former Fort Lewis captain Fabian Kling now plays for FV Illertissen in Germany's fourth tier of professional soccer. Likewise, assistant men's soccer coach John Cunliffe's Fort Lewis college career led him to play for the San Jose Earthquakes and Chivas USA in America's Major League Soccer. But who's next for homegrown talent? If you ask around the Durango youth soccer community, there's only one name on everyone's lips: Eli Fenton. Durango native Fenton started his soccer journey at 4 years of age, and now 10 years later, he's set his sights on the big time. The 5'11" defender began playing with Durango youth soccer and has consistently been a standout. After an illustrious career at DYSA, Fenton changed teams to play for the Rio Rapids in Albuquerque, in a league where the competition is a bit more fierce. Fenton's dominance playing as a centre-back, also known as central defence, captured the attention of Colorado's very own Major League Soccer franchise. This past weekend, Fenton was invited to travel with the Under-17 Colorado Rapids Development Academy to play in the Generation Adidas Cup, held in Casa Grande, Arizona. Eli and the Rapids beat FC Dallas, tied against Toronto FC, and lost to Real Salt Lake. Eli told Inside Durango that he fit in well with the Colorado Rapids squad. He said the trip was fun and the level of play was highly competitive. Eli added that his love of soccer comes from the fact that it's a global sport and youth have many opportunities to travel and play on the field. Eli's parents drove the 950-mile round trip to watch their son play and told Inside Durango Sports that they're proud of his work ethic, his 3.8 grade point average, and his friendships with the special group of soccer friends here in Durango. Mike Fenton, father of Durango's next soccer superstar, also commended his son's commitment to training through Olympic Development Program and Fort Lewis soccer camps, not to mention his patience with his frequent trips to Albuquerque. Eli paid tribute to his parents and coaching staff for the support and guidance that enabled him to get this far. I personally have been lucky enough to work with Eli, and the skill and knowledge of the game that he commands is unique for a player of his age. We can expect very big things from this one. And if you still don't believe me, check this out. Whew, majestic. We will keep a close eye on Eli Fenton's progress and wish him the best of luck for his future. In their penultimate road trip of the regular season, both Fort Lewis basketball teams suffered back-to-back defeats in double headers against Colorado State University-Pueblo and the University of Colorado Springs. The loss to Pueblo marks the Skyhawks' lowest score this season, with just 55 points. The Thunderwolves capitalized on Fort Lewis's low shooting percentage of 38.2 for the night to win the game by a comfortable 16 points. The low scores were uncharacteristic of the Skyhawks' normally explosive offense we are used to seeing. Over the last 3 games prior to Pueblo, Fort Lewis shot an average of 93.6 points, close to double Friday night's total score. And it's surprising to see a team with big rebounders such as Alex Herrera to be out-rebounded 47-30. Regardless, Herrera continued his stellar season with 20 points and 6 rebounds to lead the team's statistics. Nick Tomczyk followed with 13 points, 5 rebounds and 3 assists. The following eve saw a much more spirited performance from Fort Lewis, but still not enough to clinch a victory. The UCCS Mountain Lions fought off a surge of late Skyhawk scorers to win the game 76-74. The Galogli Event Center played host to the matchup in which at one point Fort Lewis led by as many as 10 points. Nick Tomczyk kept Fort Lewis on the heels of victory with his 27 points and was the only Skyhawk to score in double digits. Herrera and Jared Smith contributed with 9 points each. That's in stark contrast to previous weeks when several Skyhawks posted more than 10 points a single game. The women's team also had 2 late comebacks against the same opposition during their weekend of losses. Firstly, by 4 points against CSU-Pueblo Thunderwolves, 53-49, and then against Colorado Springs, they lost 57-61. Head coach Jason Flores saw his side relinquish their 4-game winning streak Friday night in a game where both teams shot poorly from the field. The Thunderwolves marginally outshot the Skyhawks with a shooting percentage of just 29.4 versus Fort Lewis's 25.9. Christy Groh recorded a double-double with 10 points and 11 rebounds, whilst Ashley Kutcher also scored 10 and Erica Richards leading the seniors with 11. Their second defeat of the weekend came courtesy of the University-Colorado at Colorado Springs Cougars. The Lady Hawks now move to 10-8 in the Rocky Mountain Conference and 13-9 overall. The Cougars' offense came out strong and held the lead throughout the game's entirety. Richards again led scoring for Fort Lewis with 17 points, but trailed behind the Springs' Abby Kirchhoff, who left the court with a happy 18 points. Fort Lewis basketball teams take their final road trips of the regular season next weekend as they travel to Denver for games against Metro State and Regis University. In other Skyhawk news, the Fort Lewis College softball team played a 5-game tournament against Texas A&M Kingsville, Eastern New Mexico, Angelo State, Western Texas A&M, and Tarleton State. The Skyhawk Sluggers came off the back of a successful previous weekend in which they finished with 3 wins and 2 losses. Unfortunately, Fort Lewis came back to Durango earning just the lone win against Tarleton on Sunday's only game. Missy Fundora began the scoring slide to give Fort Lewis the lead, before Haley Bulliard hit her first home run of the season. Tarleton missed out on a golden opportunity in the top of the 3rd inning when all bases were loaded. Fort Lewis capitalized on this mistake with a run from Adriana Rostenhauser. The 4th inning was scoreless, with Tarleton ahead by one run when Fort Lewis's Destiny De Herrera, Mindy Thompson and Giovanna Rios all reached home plate to end an explosive spree of runs to secure the Skyhawk win 6-4. The weekend puts Fort Lewis at a record of 4-6 overall. The Skyhawks are on the road again this weekend when they head to Denver to face Regis University in 2 doubleheaders. That's 4 matchups. There is nothing sadder than a lonely set of golf clubs gathering dust in the garage. But unfortunately, that's what happens in Durango during winter. In fact, from November to April, our local course at Hillcrest is more likely to see skiers on the greens than golf balls. But this year is different. The uncharacteristically warm weather that grips the region means we can dust off those irons a little earlier, with Hillcrest Golf Course opening for business. All 18 holes, driving range and practice facilities are open Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays. Course officials will determine week by week whether the course will stay open, depending on the weather. Head professional John Vickers told Inside Durango Sports that the turf has wintered surprisingly well, but it's fragile and must be managed carefully. Hillcrest is expected to resume its regular schedule in late March, and that too is dependent on the weather. Vickers said that roughly 300 golfers took advantage of the rare early opening. Fee greens are discounted with 18 holes costing $30. Carts are available for an extra $13. Vickers added that the forecast looks favourable for golf this weekend, and as long as there is no rapid change in weather, the course will be open again Friday, Saturday and Sunday. The athletic department at Fort Lewis College choose a male and female athlete each week to receive the Skyhawk of the Week award. Come win or loss, the Skyhawks recognise individual excellence, and this week's winners are basketball's Nick Tomczyk and Erica Richards. Erica Richards' award comes from her 14 points per game average during the previous weekend's competition. The senior from Mesa, Arizona, pulled down 8 rebounds and posted 3 steals against CSU-Pueblo and UCC Colorado Springs. She scored 17 of her 28 points against Colorado Springs, and she rounded off her weekend statistics with 5 assists. So far this season, Richards averages 15.8 points per game and shoots 40.1% from the field. Her free throw percentage stands just shy of 90%. Nick Tomczyk posted the highest offensive stats in the Skyhawks doubleheader this weekend. Tomczyk's shooting proficiency of 48.6%, including 45.5% from the three-point range, gave him an average of 20 points per game. Saturday was the highlight of the seniors' weekend, In the game against the UCCS Cougars, he led scoring with 27 points. Tomzik's shooting has been an important weapon for Fort Lewis this season. He shot 47.9% from the field, 42.9% from outside the arc, and 84.4% from the charity stripe. Congratulations to the new Skyhawks of the Week, Erica Richards and Nick Tomzik. And that wraps up this week of Inside Durango Sports. Thanks for tuning in to another action-packed show. I'll be back next Thursday with plenty more sports news from around the greater Durango area. For Inside Durango Sports, I'm Jordan Alexander. See you next week.
Thanks for watching Inside Durango TV Sports. Tune in every Thursday for more sports headlines.